you a bright and early guy by default, or is this a morning for you?
No, I'm super easy in the morning. I mean, if you're gonna let me sleep in, I'm gonna sleep in. But mornings are totally fine.
What's just sort of this weekend been like? This first taste of being here, new fan base, new environment. Obviously, how have you kind of taken it all in so far?
Yeah. Fans are great. I sat down in the lobby in the hotel with a lot of them last night and met a lot of people. Very nice, very welcoming, and definitely excited to be here.
You 6'6" and have your haircut kind of hard to blend in, I would guess.
Yeah. It's I stick out like a sore thumb sometimes. It's okay though.
Dustin, you told us on that Zoom that you're working to rebuild strength and put on some more weight. How's that going for you this offseason?
Good. I'm up about 20 pounds right now, so hopefully get a couple more before spring. But I'm in a comfy spot right now, but just gotta hold it throughout the season.
Was there any lingering effects to having the surgery with the esophagus that you had? Like, how long did it take you to feel 100% again?
100%. I don't really know the exact date for that, but it took about 8 months for me after surgery to kind of feel like a normal person again, to where I didn't have any like restrictions or anything like that. So basically, last February was about the time, and then spring training was starting. So there was really no real break in between. So it was good to get a full off season of health and be able to build up.
Dustin, when you mentioned just kind of holding that weight through the season, what's that process like, especially with how like grinding is like a full season can be?
Yeah, I just got to be very mindful because my weight can fluctuate quick. So if I'm being super mindful about the foods that I'm eating and the amount of food that I'm eating, then I can kind of maintain. But if there's days where I don't, then my weight can drop, and then I got to work to get it back. So it's just an internal battle to be able to maintain it. Yeah.
Dustin, when you look kind of around the league this winter, looking at free agency and stuff, there probably aren't a lot of teams where a guy your age would come in and be like the veteran guy who's kind of at the front of it, right?
Yeah.
How much of that appealed to you? Like, how much of that was kind of an interesting spot in your career to be able to seize that and make that part of your season?
Yeah, no, it was definitely a thought process whenever I was going through the signing process that I knew I was going to be one of the older guys. I didn't fully realize that I was going to be the old guy in the group. It definitely feels really weird coming from the teams that I've been on, being either the really young guy or kind of like just the middle of the pack person. But I'm excited for the new adventure and to be able to kind of use some of my stories with the old guys and the teams that I have played with before. So I think it'll be a good year. I think it will be.
As you came up through the Dodgers, was there a certain pitcher that maybe you gravitated to or became kind of a mentor to you, or not?
Not really. When you come up with LA, it's pretty much just like, here's the keys to the car. It's your ship. It's just show up and play. That's pretty much how it was.
Listen, as you've regained strength, how much do you hope to get that fastball back? You told us that you had to lean on the sweeper a lot last year because it was working.
Yeah.
How much do you want to regain the command of that fastball?
I mean, that would be huge. That's been something that I've been trying to dial in the off season, is just being able to kind of get a little bit more feel and being able to replicate it back. Bullpens have been going great. I feel really good right now. Just got to keep building on that.
Justin, on the topic of kind of being that young guy in the clubhouse, what were some of those what do you take from those experiences and those lessons from that setup?
There's a lot of sitting back and just observing. Being in the clubhouse with some of the veterans that I've played with, there's a lot of like, holy, that's so and so. I gotta mind my P's and Q's. But then when you go and talk to them, it's like, wow, that's just another regular person, and they're doing the same thing that I'm doing. It's just at a higher paid level. So we're on the same team. We're going for the same goal. So you might as well get comfortable with them and try to be the best version of yourself.
Dustin, given all you had to go through like physically over the last few years, is this spring's really normal for you?
Yeah.
You know, as opposed to take away the new team and everything like that.
Yeah.
Is this a pretty normal spring?
Yeah, I mean it's been a grind over the last 5 years. I'm not gonna lie, but I am very excited to be able to go into spring training fully healthy, fully ready to go, being fully built up, and having a full healthy off season has been great for my body for sure.
What does that allow you to do during this spring? I mean, does it allow you to tinker with new pitches? Does it allow you to do things when you don't have to worry about like, okay, I'm also on a rehab schedule?
Yeah, no, that's definitely something that I've thought about, is just being able to come in and just kind of have like a clean slate, especially being with a new team. Like, there's nothing that I don't need to like show out or do anything crazy. It's just I got to show up and do my job and pitch when my name's called.
Dustin, whether it's luck or reason, the Cardinals have been able to keep their arms pretty healthy over the last 2 years. Is that something that appealed at all to you in free agency as you're kind of looking through your options?
Yeah, absolutely. That was definitely something whenever I was going through the process and talking with teams and like going through processes on how they do that type of stuff. The Cardinals team, they really made that a huge effort to push forward that, like, hey, like we have a pretty good track record of this, and I was very excited to hear that.
Is that even something, like when you're talking to them kind of early in the process, that they bring in maybe some of like the trainers and stuff as
Yeah.
part of that too?
Yeah, that was something on the first call that they brought in and expressed that, and they were like, we're gonna work together perfectly, and like they're excited for this year.
Was that Adam part of that conversation?
Yeah, yeah.
Listen, are you working on any new pitches, or are you just working on shapes of pitches, things like that? What's been your focus this offseason?
Kind of just dialing everything in, getting the sweeper locked in. Sinker's looking really good. Still trying to dial in the changeup, but it's getting a little bit better feel on it. And then just being able to replicate everything and do it over and over and over. So that's kind of the biggest thing that I've been working on.
Dustin, Pedro Paez has had a reputation of being a very sound catcher defensively and game managing. What does that mean for a pitcher like you, who's struggled with injuries and downturns in your career, to come to something stable?
Yeah, no, I mean, having a good catcher behind the plate's always a huge positive. I've had some good catchers behind the plate before. I mean, it's getting on the same page and trying to not be too disconnected, being able to try and figure out like how his brain works in some situations for pitch calling, or how my brain works, and that way we can kind of sync up and coincide together.
I apologize if you've already been asked this. You're going to wear number 3.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
There wasn't very many numbers available, and as you know, 85 is retired for Bush, so 3 was just the one that stuck out to me, and that's what I picked.
Any homage to anybody or any reason for the number 3?
Just kind of.
Is it an accident that it's 8 minus 5?
Yeah, my wife told me that right after. She was like, it's 8 minus 5. I was like, sure, I guess. Cool. All right. I thought it looked good with my name, 3 letters. 3 letters in
You have to
May.
pitch on May 3rd, like you got to schedule that out.
Against the Dodgers.
Is it a Dodgers?
I think so.
Yeah, it might be. Yeah.
Dustin, you were given a really cool nickname, Ginger Guard, and as the fellow red bearded person in the room, what is do you like embrace that nickname, and do you like when you're out there on the mound, do you feel like you take over that kind of persona of like a Thor-esque type character whenever you're like, I'm gonna beat you with my best stuff? Like, is there a mindset behind that?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I absolutely hate Ginger Guard as a nickname. It's one of the worst ones I've ever heard. I'm not gonna lie. So we're gonna scratch that and move on to the next one.
Listen, you were injured, but how much did you get to know Hunter Dobbins and Richard Fitz? They were both with you in Boston for a little time. You guys were all injured. Did you get time to know those guys?
I crossed paths with Dobbins, very short. It was basically just like a hi, how are you, nice to meet you. But I talked with Fitz quite a bit. He was in Boston during that time, so up in Boston. So yeah, we talked quite a bit in the dugout and whatnot. So yeah, me and Fitzy got a little close. Yeah.
What's kind of the, go ahead.
I was going to say, Dustin, what sort of feel did you get for Dusty Blake during the free agency process, and how has that sort of developed just in the time since?
Yeah, no, he seems great. Definitely excited to work with him. I've heard really good things about him, that he's very sound with getting to know guys and getting to learn their bodies and everything like that. So definitely intrigued to be a part of it and see what he's got for me.
I'm talked about, you're a guy who's pitched on opening day, you're a guy who's pitched in the World Series, that experience appealed to him. How much can you use that to influence the other pitchers on the staff?
Yeah, and that's something that we talked about during the meetings. It was like, hey, you're gonna be the guy that's kind of been through everything. So it's gonna be fun to be able to use my experiences and try to talk with some of the young guys. I mean, I feel like I'm a young guy still, but I'm not on this team. But I think it'll be fun to be able to use some of my experiences and just kind of explain some nuances of the game and the ins and outs, the do's and don'ts, and stuff like that with a lot of our young guys. So I'm excited.
Other than the Red Sox guys, have you crossed paths with a lot of guys in this organization before? Like, did you know a lot of guys over here?
No, not. I don't know if I knew any of them. So it's a completely new and fresh group outside of the guys I ran into in Boston.